Hey yo, it's your boy Los. Let's get it.
Sola Scriptura.
We offer 5 solas for the Lord's devoted, hoping that you would hold them up close to your soul, so you'll be molded to a stronger soldier. So we brought the squad to rep with just a couple things to do. I say we start the record inspecting the formal principle. Sola Scriptura, Latin for scripture alone. The call for the church to turn back to what truth is shown. Come see the scriptures that we speak of. Indeed, there is nothing missing to make men complete, though not exhaustive, it's sufficient. The word of God is the final law and authority for all of our doctrine, faith in our life morally. The moral of the story is God's word is supreme. But if you're the Lord in your story, you're living off hopes and schemes. The word of God is our defense against wolves trying to blind you, claiming what they teach is truth but can't find it in the Bible. Nothing new under the sun, cause since the Reformation days, it don't seem like much has changed in this information age. Hey yo, hope y'all ready to roll, cause we gon' dive into self-control and soul. Let me define it. If you peep the Greek, you'll see that it means strength, and otherwise defined as one holding himself in. This is the virtue of one who masters all of his desires and all his passions. It's what's in effect when we deflect temptation that attracts us. It's God's given grace to resist when Satan attacks us. But only God's spirit makes it active. It's a massive feat, like taking a whole city captive. It takes a mightier man to control his actions and watch what comes from his mouth, cause he can't put it back in. It's what God is crafting in those that he's drafted. So let's let him shape and mold us until we behold our master.
Alright, so as you can see, we're talking today about Zaya the Blacksmith's latest album, Irons in the Fire. It's been a long time coming, and I'm gonna be straight with you, right? I can't think of too many reviews, right, where I was nervous before doing them, right? Those that follow me, man, I'm straightforward, don't sugarcoat, and I just give it to you like it is, give it to you raw. That's just how I was brought up. That's how I am as a person, as a man. That's just what it is. But I'm be straight with you. Listen to this album here. I was mad nervous, right? I was like, part of me was like, I've had this album for a week now, and I'm like, I'm not doing a review. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, I was dead serious. Like, I'm not doing a review because of the fact that, you know, I'm such a huge Zaya Blacksmith fan, right? And I love his style, I love everything he brings to the game, and I didn't want to mess up his review, man. Like, just to be straight with you, keep it always a buck. Like, I'm such a big fan, and I love this album so much, right? That I was just like, yo, I don't want to possibly say something that would hinder anybody from buying this album, right? Because I want to him to get the support he deserves, and the Lord get the praise he gets, and so on and so forth, right? So, but then I kind of came to my senses and realized who I was as a man. No, I'm playing. But now I just, you know, I'm a fan, yo. Let's just go ahead and get into it. So, this album to me is a beautiful understanding of what it's like to be in love with your God and be in love with hip-hop at the same time, and blending them two loves together, right? Where you can boast and brag and admonish and share your love of God with the world, while at the same time, right, enjoy and embrace the genre in which God has allowed you to use to boast and brag upon him, right? And so throughout like a lot of cats, and no need to, you know, pick one like that, but a lot of dudes as of late, I'm gonna say the last maybe 2-3 years, whatever, seem that they feel as if it's hard or almost impossible to enjoy hip-hop, right, the right way, but yet they have to shrink down when it comes to God. So they'll elevate hip-hop, but then shrink God down. And this album here is the complete opposite of that. It's Christ is still elevated top, don't get it wrong, don't get it twisted, but at the same time, you can feel and embrace Zay's love for hip-hop, and not modern day hip-hop more so, but my man said I don't rock skinny jeans, but more so the hip-hop we grew up on. And there's many times on this album you would say, yeah, you know, he's an old head, and I'm old head, and there's many of us old heads as well. And so this album here is really, I want to say it's for us, but really it's for everybody, man. It is a dope album, but it gives you that beautiful blend where you can listen to this album here and hear all throughout it just boasting on the beauty of God, but at the same time you're enjoying the essence of what hip hop is, man. And I love this album. I've been waiting forever for this album, and it's one of those things I was kind of nervous at first, like, because you know how you wait for something, right? And Zay hit me at one time, and I was talking to him about like some of the single he just dropped, Go On, or Tactics, I'm sorry. And I was like, I'm good. He's like, yo, check it out. I said, I'm straight. And my reason being is, like I told you before, I don't really do singles. I want to, hear the whole album in its totality, and that way I can, get a full grasp or understanding of the artist and the album fully. And I don't like singles. That's just not me. But in that, right, I was nervous because I've been waiting for this album for so long, and my fear was he was gonna, not come through. But man, by God's beautiful grace, man, that is not the case, man. This is just a beautiful album, man. I have literally been bumping it nonstop, and not a bump nonstop, like, I gotta review it, so let me make sure I hear all of it. No, I've enjoyed every time I hit play, and this is actually what kind of album that you can hit play from track 1 to track 12 or 13 it is, whatever, and really hear every track and no need to skip anything. And that's rare nowadays, man. A lot of cats can't give you that, but this album gives you that. This is a continual play album, man. Shout out to the homie, man, for real. Not that many features. You got, of course, this beautiful song called "The Hand of God." My goodness. Zay starts off, then Stephen Levi comes in, and then Timothy Brindle. That's just basically a transparent cut from them, man, where they are talking about things that happened throughout their life, and how the Lord has guided them through it for His glory, for their joy. Shout out to my man Stephen Levi, man, true brother in the Lord, man. He hit me up the other day. Last night, just last night. He noticed something about me and my character, and without even hesitation, hit me up quick, like, yo, I'm seeing something, bro. It's not godly. You need to check that real quick. And I love him for it, man. And immediately I saw it, and as I'm reading what he's sending me, right, it was no hesitation on my part. Like, yo, that's God. Checkmate. Let's get it done. And I just praise God for that kind of brother, man. For him in general, but brothers like him also, man. Just praise God. Anyways, back to the album. Shout out to the homie though, man. But no, so them three on the album, and then you got his beautiful daughter. She's on a song. I don't know what they said on that song. I know something about a tree and some roots, but that's actually my favorite. Almost my favorite song on the album, and that's basically because of the way he spit over the album with the production in Spanish. Just beautiful, man. That is just it's a dope song, man. For like I said, I really have no idea what he's saying. I'm pretty sure it's glorifying the Lord, and I think he said something about his daughter in this. I don't know, but it's dope though. It's Spanish over dope boom bap production. It was hot, bro. Real talk. But yeah, you got Strat. Okay, so the label, a song called The Label with Chris Jones and Strats on it. My point on it is pretty much the whole album is pretty much just him. He pretty much, by God's grace, just carries the weight of this album. Like I said, with those minus those features there, but it's just him. And I like that because we haven't had a full-length Zaya album. Like I said, I wanted Ian to do his first joint to be a full-length just him, just so we can get a full glimpse of who he is, right? And what God has done in his life. And that's what Zaya kind of did with this here, where it's a very transparent album where you get to hear his highs and his lows and his goods and his bad. I chopped it up with him, and so it's funny, right? Because when we talked, right, a lot of things he said to me that I felt personally like I just shouldn't put out there. I felt as if he trusted me with some things, so I just kind of kept it to myself the whole time, which I do with a lot of people when they hit me up. But I'm glad that he actually exposed himself in this album, or some of the things, definitely not all, but some of the things on himself in the album. So the song "Pity the Fool," but I'll get that in a second. The song "Pity the Fool" basically just speaks about how he was foolish throughout his life. Pretty much his I'm gonna say his music career. He's very foolish in some things. Basically just foolish. Made some extremely, we would say, just dumb decisions, selfish, sinful decisions that cost some friends and cost some loved ones and whatnot, whatever. But nevertheless, though, the Lord was gracious to do that, and it would seem as things have been restored and friendships have been restored, and the Lord is still glorified and all. But it was just a very transparent album, very transparent song where he just put himself out there, like pretty much, this is me, and what I'm saying, I'm not proud of who I am, but nevertheless, this is me, and this is what I've done. But the Lord's been gracious to me. I love that song, man, for real. Like I said, Hand to God was amazing. I think my overall favorite song, actually the intro was dope. Go On. Shout out to my man Chris Jones, man. He always kills it, man. But he did a great job with the production of that one. Actually, it's funny, when I'm in the gym, well, the gym's open back up though, and actually it's funny because before the gym's open back up, I was listening to this album and I was like, yo, I can't wait for the gym. I didn't know the gyms were gonna open up when they opened up, and I was down here in Georgia, and I was like, yo, hurry up, because I really want to hear this album and feel this album in the gym. And man, for me, it's just a whole different ballpark. Just, man, in there with them weights, man, listen to this album, man. Just, I didn't want to leave that bad boy, for real. It just had me stuck. And the intro, the way it comes in, man, it's like a movie, it's a dope song, man. But in the intro, which is beautiful about the intro, I'm really jumping around in this review. My bad, no order, so sorry. But the intro is so dope, and how he explains just his love for hip hop and his love for boom bap beats, and his desire for everybody to see his love for God as well as his love for hip hop. And one thing I love also is he's an old head like myself. He's not necessarily bashing the new generation, right? He's not necessarily dogging them out and saying, how they're whack or whatever. I'll say that. He's not. But what I love though is that he's saying, even though that's where things are, let me tell you where things used to be and what I love about hip hop. And I just love that. One of my favorite songs in the album is a song called Brown Sugar. One of my favorite movies, man, dope movie. Probably my top 10 movies of all time. Maybe top 8, be straight with you. I love that movie. And so it was dope for him to interact it into this album here. Funny enough, as I'm listening to the song, and I'll get to the song in a second, my wife was listening to, I already heard the song, I already heard the album like maybe 2 times before she heard it. And so she listened to the song and she says, in the middle of the song, she was like, wait a minute, pause the song. And I paused and she said, he's not talking about a girl, right? I just look at him like, yeah, fam, I'm very much aware. She's like, okay, I just thought to make sure I wasn't going crazy. I was like, no, he's talking about hip hop. But basically, if let's go back to Common, the rapper / actor. He did a song years back called Used to Love Her. I think it was Used to Love Her. But basically, it was about hip hop and how she started off, at the East Coast in New York, then she kind of went down south, then she went to the West Coast, and that actually started some friction between Common and the West Side Connection. So I'm trying to figure out the whole time I was like, I wonder who on the West Coast is going to come at Zaya for him kind of doing his own little rendition of starting that beef back up. Hope nobody, because then I got to fly up there and do some things, but it's cool. But anyways, I'm mad high about this album, so sorry once again. And so on that song, this is mad unprofessional. Whatever. So on that song there is basically from the age of 8 to where he is now, just explaining his journey when it comes to hip hop, how much in love he is with hip hop, and how his love for hip hop switched and changed once the Lord saved him. So he saw hip hop in one way from 8 to I don't remember the exact age, but I think when he was in Maryland, he said. But once the Lord saved him, he saw hip hop completely different, and his love changed for hip hop. And actually, what I thought was dope was on the song he says about how once the Lord saved him, he kind of distanced himself from hip hop. They didn't write letters anymore. And then I don't know if it's because, I don't know. It might have been because he probably thought hip hop was evil because of his connection with Christ. But you see right after that how the Lord brings him back to hip hop, and then the Lord connects with hip hop, and then he used hip hop now for God's glory. And this thing, it's a beautiful song, man. Like I said, this album here to me is just very, very transparent, very much. Here I am, love me, hate me, whatever, but nevertheless, here I am, and I respect it. And I have a deep love for this album, deep respect for this album. Not gonna lie, the song Label with shout out to my man Will. apologist, killed it on the production of this album, man. But on that song there, it took me a second to grow on me. It made me mad because at myself really, because my four of my favorite dudes. So Will's on the production, Zaya's rapping, Chris is rapping, and then Strass rapping, and I was like, why am I not liking this when I first heard it? But the more and more I listen to it, the more and more I just got a feel for it. I was like, I'm so ecstatic about Christ-centric and what God is doing with them. And Zaya said something that I thought was dope. When I first heard it, I was like, ooh, he killed it. But then I was a little bothered by that. Not that there's a comparison, but yeah. Anyway, so Zaya makes a statement. He's talking about how dope Christ-centric is. He's trying to bring it back. Keep things going. And he says, "I'm not evangel. I think I'm dope, but I'm not evangel." Basically, right? And I was like, nah, you not, but you know what I'm saying, you getting there. You know what I'm saying? And everybody knows, man, if you know me, man, Evangel is my top MC of all time. There's no MC, Biggie, Pac, whatever. So whoever you won the badge, I don't care. Evangel to me is the top MC. And I'm not saying Zay is number 2, but man, don't, man. Hey, come on, bro. he killing it, man. Anyways, so sorry. Once again, very unprofessional. I'm all over the place. I don't care. Album as a whole, just dope, man. Song Passport, very last song. I remember when Zay and I talked about, I had to do Alchemy. Well, had the Will put Alchemy together. Funny, I'm not, that's his business. Passport on the Alchemy album didn't come out the way he wanted it to. And so I praise God and I rejoice in the fact that it came out a little bit different on this album here. And I'm hoping and praying that the way he originally wanted to come out, then it came out that way now. If not, saying sorry, but it's still a dope song though. Trying to think of anything else on this album, man, that one thing I thought was dope, man. It's just small little things, man. Just little things, you know what I'm saying, make me happy, make me smile. When Chris came in on the label, I thought it was dope when he said, "I'm the drummer boy," and the way Will brought the drums in, just as he said it. I mean, just small little things like that, just you know what I'm saying, make me smile, and I was just really excited about that, man. Just overall dope album. It's literally the kind of album that I could play over and over and over again and not get tired. Like, I've literally done that now, plays on an album over and over again, and I'm nowhere near tired of it. I'm just really ecstatic about this album. Also, dope song. Don't remember the name of it, so sorry. But if you don't know, Zay is a firefighter up in Philly. And I think it's dope that he did a song talking about the dangers of him being a firefighter and how when he leaves the home, there's no guarantee, to go on missions or whatnot. There's no guarantee he's going to come back home. But it's something that he loves and he enjoys doing. And he does it in some shape, form, fashion for the glory of the Lord. He said, "Hey, I just I play my part. We all play our parts. This is my part to play." And I love that, man. I love that mindset and viewpoint of things. And I'm praying for him. You know what I'm saying? Praying for his safety as well as everybody else's. Not just the homie, but everybody who's in that field or whatnot. That's a very dangerous job, but trusting the Lord that everybody makes it home safe each time they step out. But yeah, it just dope album, man. Dope album. Very well worth the wait, man. Well worth the wait. Tactics was a dope song as well. Challenging song for me. Platoon. Whew, that was challenging. Hearing that song there made me really question how I'm running my home. Like, am I leading my house in such a way that's honoring God? As am I loving my wife in a manner that's Christ honored, right? And the Lord will be honored and be pleased to see. Am I raising my kids up in such a way that will give God glory? Like, I really, after hearing that song there, it really made me want to check myself and really say, am I doing this correctly? And then asking, Lord, if I'm not, please show me so I can. That was a dope song. Yeah. I could really go through every song and just tell you how dope it is. But overall, very much excited about this album. It came out on Bandcamp. I don't like Bandcamp. Not a fan of Bandcamp at all. Kind of wish that when it came out on Bandcamp first. I get it. I hate it. Just be straight with you. I was still waiting for iTunes. I got it. I was like, listen to it on Bandcamp. And I was like, yo, when is iTunes going to drop, man? And that's, down the road. And I ain't got time to wait. So I went ahead and bought it on Bandcamp and It's whatever. But it's on Bandcamp now. Go ahead and spend the $10 on it now. You know what I'm saying? And then when it shows on iTunes, if you want to buy it again, which I'm actually going to do, go ahead and buy it again. Unga Bunga, dope track. Beautiful reason why you got to hear. Well, I'm gonna tell you. His daughter. He says in the song, his daughter makes a statement about, she says Unga Bunga or something like that, and that stuck in his head, and he just did a song about being a caveman for the Lord, and man, I think he did it dope, man. I had a visual that just blew my mind the whole time I listened to the song. One thing I didn't like, hold on, am I ready for that yet? We'll go with it. Oops, 18 minutes. What I didn't like about the album was the commercials, right? So instead of Mr. T, it's Mr. Z, you know, and Mr. T's, or Mr. Z, I guess we would say, is like the continual theme throughout the album, where Mr. T, a commercial from Mr. T or from the movie, whatever, his show, whatever, would play in the background or before a song or whatnot, and that's just a continual theme. And then the Unga Bunga song, you had Captain Caveman, was you know, at the beginning of that, and then at the end, and then the Simpsons, you're old, you know, so that was in that, and you know, I don't know, man, to me, and then the Brown Sugar right before that, you get the conversation that I forgot that people's name, goodness gracious, but that they had walked through the park about their love for hip hop, and you know what happened at this time, and so on and so forth. You know, for me, I get why he had them in, but it came across mad childish to me. Right, so it makes you think about. I was trying to think of boy's name. I can't remember his name. Flame's old dude. He signed his label. Was it Mike? Not Mike Peace. I forgot his name. I'll put it right here if I remember it or care. I didn't like him or his album, but anyways, he did an album recently. Well, a while back, his first solo album, and like before every song, it was a commercial of some sort, and there was a lot of you know, news clippings and what. It was just too much. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was mad childish when he did. I was like, yo, that's corny. You know what I'm saying? I already wasn't a fan of Old Boy and his music, and that there made me dislike his album all the more. And so listening to this here, you know, I just didn't like the commercials. I was like, we could do without it. I get the beginning, you know what I'm saying? You're saying, you know, the Mr. Z part, that was cool. But throughout the album, there is this, you know, in my viewpoint, a childish, you know, I just didn't like that. I wish they really would have cut that out. That was mad corny to me. But if that's the only bad thing I got to say about this album, then all right, cool, I take that. Overall, like I said, just a dope album, man. Well-produced album. Every track to me was masterfully done. I don't think there was a waste of a beat. Everybody who touched the mic, you know what I'm saying, just did an amazing job. Dope album, man. I'm sorry, I'm at 21 minutes. So sorry. It's a dope album. And I'm sure once I hit stop, I'm gonna think of some more stuff that I just enjoy about the album. Here's one thing I would have wanted to hear, though, just to be straight, and hope that doesn't spark anything, but I would have loved to hear a song about his wife. I would love to hear, you know, actually it was funny when Brown Sugar came on, and I didn't catch at the initial part of, I didn't catch the voices at first. I thought it was him and his wife talking about their love for hip hop and all that there, but I would love to have heard a song, you know, about, you know, just his wife, just how much he loves his wife, and, you know, the relationship, and, you know, how they met and whatever. I think it would have been dope to hear. I think that people need to hear that, or like to hear that. I know I would, but because I mean, he's a very transparent rapper. And here's one thing. So sorry, if you want to hang up, if you want to get off, I fully understand. One thing I love about Zay's style, and just in general, right? Not just him, but I love it when an MC can tell you a story, right? Not many MCs can do that and keep your attention. Some dudes tell a story, you just like, yo, just stop, and you can't believe them, and it comes across wrong or whatnot. I love the fact that he was able to be transparent, and he's a great storyteller. I never knew he was that good of a storyteller, but he's a great storyteller, and I like that. I really enjoyed taking the time to hear and learn more things about him that I didn't know before, and it was a great eye-opening album. So dope album, man. Definitely suggest copping this. Please don't stream it, don't YouTube it, don't borrow it, don't steal it, don't copy it, man, go spend the money on this. This is definitely an album to spend money on. And I'm mad because, well, hopefully this cold quarantine thing ends soon, because I'm trying to do a barbecue soon, and I'm definitely gonna put this on the loudspeakers and make the neighbors mad. Not purposely, but it happens. Whatever, I'm good, because this is definitely the kind of weekend barbecue get together type album where you can push play from the beginning, like I said, let that bad boy just coast on through and everybody get it. You know what I'm saying? It's a dope album, man, for real. Shout out to the homie, man. Good project. All right, y'all. Grace.